What can you expect from the Franklin, Tennessee real estate market in 2026? That is exactly what we are going to be talking about in today's video. Now, granted, nobody has a crystal ball, but patterns and data, they do tell a story. And the Franklin, Tennessee market is going to be a prime example of this. So before we jump in any further, hi, if you are new to my channel, my name is Caitlin Martin. I am your go-to Franklin, Tennessee luxury real estate advisor, and I specialize in relocation to the Franklin, Tennessee area. Now, over the last 7 years, I've worked with dozens of families, and so I have seen the variations and the movement within our real estate market. And so because of that, we're going to talk about the key indicators of what I'm currently seeing in terms of our data points and what you need to know, as well as giving you my very best estimates of what's to come as we move throughout 2026. I know that there can be a lot of headlines and a lot of hype and a lot of fear out there. However, this is not what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about what I'm actually monitoring and what I expect as we move through 2026. So first up, we have to talk about why Franklin, Tennessee is just different. So when we're talking about real estate, I always have to remind folks that real estate is going to be hyper local. So what is happening in one part of the country or one city or even one neighborhood can be different than another neighborhood, another city, another part of the country. And there are so many factors that are working in Franklin's favor that help to protect us or insulate us just a little bit more than particularly other areas across the country. So what's happening on a national scale may not have as much of an impact or much impact at all on the Franklin, Tennessee real estate market. So we need to take a look at the reasons why that is. So some of the key fundamentals that are going to lead to a strong real estate market in Franklin include the fact that we have strong household incomes paired with low unemployment rates. So those are part of what really works in our favor. Also, we have to talk about our publicly rated school scores within Williamson County. That's another driving factor. Also, we continue to see a lot of relocation clients coming in from other higher cost states. So think California, New York, Chicago. Ultimately, the folks that are looking to relocate here, their money is going further. You know, we have no state income tax, we've got lower property taxes, we are actually the third least taxed state in the country, and we have no personal property tax. So people are choosing to make the move here because it makes more sense financially, and that's not changing anytime soon. We also have limited land and strict zoning, which means that our community that people love and what makes it so special, it's not going to be overbuilt, so there is protection around it. Now, Williamson County, it is going to be the most expensive county within the state of Tennessee. And because of that, it helps to draw in those more affluent buyers for a myriad of reasons, and those folks tend to be less interest rate sensitive. And our luxury market within Williamson County is what continues to grow. So you have all of these factors that are working within Franklin, Tennessee, and I like to remind folks that because of that, Williamson County actually fared really well within the crash of '08. And so that should help give you some reassurance that yes, things can happen in other parts of the country, but we are well isolated. Now, what are we expecting in terms of pricing appreciation growth? Let's talk about all of that. So when we look at our pricing outlook and what to expect, our market metrics that can point to a crash are just not present. So the key indicators that I'm typically looking at that can predict a potential crash is going to be a surge in inventory, large home price reductions, reductions in the number of total sales or closings, and then of course a surge of days on market. So now we need all four of those indicators to really be present in order for us to be able to accurately predict that a retraction or a crash could be coming. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to look at our statistical data from RealTrax for the Franklin area, and then we're going to keep diving into what else you need to know so that you can see for yourself what our data shows. All right, so we are now taking a look at our market statistics. This is on our RealTrax MLS system. This is January 2026 compared to January of 2025, which is historically one of our slowest months of the year. But this gives us a good idea and a good indicator of where we are this year compared to last year. So as you can see, new listings are actually down 34%. So we are not seeing a huge surge in new listings. Now, when it comes to active inventory, we are up 22%. So if you look, that's going to be about 60 homes more than last year. Now, when it comes to closings, we are down 9%. However, that is actually only a difference of 9 homes. Now, when we look at prices, the average price and the median price are both up. And then days on market, it is up, but only by 8 days. So if you can see, it says 20%, but that's 40 days compared to 48. And then even month supply down here is up a little over a month. So again, some indicators are there, but not these huge overall indicators, and all 4 of our data points are not present in order to suggest a retraction. The other thing that I think is super important, if we go here to the timeline, I love to show people this, because one of the things that we're always hearing is people saying like, well, when's the market going to cool off? When are prices coming down? And the truth of the matter is they're not, because when you look at pricing ratios, this tells us, this is another key indicator that I love to look at, because it really tells us in terms of pricing where we're at, because you can see price reductions on homes right now. However, what this chart here tells us, if you look, this is telling us that as of January, homes in Franklin, Tennessee were still selling at 97.27% of list price. So again, we're not seeing sellers take these massive hits when it comes to price reductions. It's just that sellers have to be more strategic with their pricing. But again, still getting 97% or above of list price is still really good. So again, the 4 key indicators are not all present. Homes are still appreciating. Yes, days on market's a little bit up, but we're getting ready to head into our spring market. So I do expect to see that tick down as we're heading into one of our, or the most popular time of the year. So I hope that taking a look at this data was helpful. But now we're going to jump back in and talk more of what to expect as we move through 2026 in the Franklin, Tennessee real estate market. Overall, our historical data points are really pointing to no dramatic crashes on the horizon. Remember, of course, with homes, we're still seeing appreciation. We're still seeing homes sell within 97% plus of list price. So it's just much more measured, sustainable growth. Of course, this is not going to be 2021 or early 2022 when we saw our white hot market where we had an average of 4% appreciation a month. We've really transitioned back to a far more normal, stabilized market with sustainable appreciation. We also have to look at, when it comes to our market this year, things like micro market factors are coming into play. So we're looking at price, condition, location, privacy, views, lot size. All of this matters when it comes to pricing, and it's really not going to be a one-size-fits-all situation. But when we're looking at those kinds of pricing, we have to take into account those micro market, because it makes a difference in what it is that we're seeing. We also continue to see an influx of relocation buyers coming in, and the reason why they're moving here, it's not changing. Of course, we've already talked about the no state income tax, property taxes, the lifestyle that the Middle Tennessee area offers. All of that growth isn't changing, and we continue to have that strong demand, which of course is going to drive appreciation. But that does not mean that sellers can price their home for a really high aspirational price. It really means that when it comes to home pricing this year, it's going to be more important than ever for sellers to price their home appropriately. We don't base prices anymore off of emotion, but we've got to do it off of data. Those who are priced high, of course, it's going to take longer to sell. And that actually leads me into the different types of buyer behavior that we've already started to see and that we expect to continue to see as we move through 2026. So let's actually dive into how buyers are acting. So what we've really started to see over the last several months and plan to see more is that buyers are more analytical and they're more discerning than what we've seen in previous years. So we also know that some buyers, they're still sitting on the fence waiting for rates to drop more. However, those that actually are jumping into the market and they're choosing to buy, they're really taking their time. This isn't a couple of years ago where they had to make a split-second decision. They're actually taking the time to weigh their options, and it's giving them more negotiation power. However, if a home in this area is still priced right, parade ready, there's actually still a chance that a bidding war could occur. Now, of course, that's going to be far less likely compared to a couple of years ago. However, there is a chance that it still can happen because we're seeing that demand in our market. However, for most buyers, it's not going to be a multiple offer situation, but they are really taking the time to weigh their options and make sure that it's a home that doesn't just work for today, but it works for the long term. Now, some other things that we're seeing within our market is there's actually an increase in demand of buyers who want things like privacy, more acreage, or at least a home that's going to sit on a little bit of a larger of a lot so they're not jammed in with their neighbors. And then we are also seeing an increase in buyers wanting home wellness features. So homes with saunas, with cold plunges, with home gyms or pools. Also, we're seeing an increase in demand for outdoor living, entertaining spaces. All of those things continue to be in high demand. We've really seen an increase of it, and we're just continuing to see more. And we know that buyers are willing to pay to get what it is that they want. However, at the same time, we're really seeing they have a real emphasis on not wanting to overpay. And so they're really analyzing the long-term investment potential of the home. It's no longer just that emotional purchase, but it's also one that they are seeking to be financially smart that's going to have a great return on investment down the road. So these are all things that we continue to see within buyer behavior today. Now, on the flip side, what about sellers? What do they need to know? So when it comes to selling in 2026, this market is going to require sellers to be far more strategic, data-driven, and presentation-focused. So what that means is not overpricing a home. Like we talked about, buyers are being far more discerning. It means that sellers need to price their home based on data, not on emotion. And the sellers who do that are going to be the ones that are going to win out with buyers, because when a home is overpriced, it slows down the activity, and ultimately it's going to cost those sellers more in both time and leverage in the market. Right now, the longer the days on market, the more a buyer is actually going to try to come through. And if they do want to write an offer, they're going to be coming in with low ball offers. So that's why being strategic and data driven with pricing is actually what is going to help sellers beat their competition in the marketplace, because that pricing is either going to help sell their home or it's going to help sell the competition. And I know there is that misconception out there that people believe that if you price high, you can leave room for negotiation. But really and truly, that actually ends up most of the time leaving money on the table versus pricing it just at or just under market value. Because again, we know that buyers are more discerning. They have an idea of what a good value is. So if a home is priced right, or even priced at what seems like a little bit below market value, it can actually drive up interest, then causing a multiple offer situation. Like I said, we can still see it in the marketplace, but it all comes down to making sure that the home is priced right and parade ready, which helps still drives that demand. Now, it's also going to be just as important for sellers to also do that proper pre-market presentation or prep work so that their home is going to show to the best of its ability when it hits the market. You know, back in 2021, when homes were flying like hotcakes and literally people were bidding 100,000, 200,000 over just to get the home, a seller could literally just slap their home up on the market, not do the prep work, and it didn't matter. However, those days are gone. Again, you have that more discerning buyer now. So that means that sellers need to make sure that the home is really showing. So decluttering, doing the deep clean, making sure it's got staging, whether that is occupied staging or whether that is bringing in new staging. All of those factors really matter when it comes to making sure the home is priced right and parade ready. So for sellers, the ones who are going to win out in this market this year are the ones who are priced right, parade ready, and do that proper pre-market prep, because it's going to make all the difference in whether you win out or whether you sit on the market longer. Okay, now what am I personally watching for in 2026? So when it comes to the market this year, there's a couple of things in particular that I'm really keeping my eye on. So of course, interest rate activity, because if they come down, that can push more buyers into our market with the demand, then that can then lead to things like multiple offer situations. Also keeping an eye on changes in inventory. So remember, that is actually one of the key indicators of the health of our market. And so keeping an eye on any changes in terms of how much inventory is coming to the market or being pulled, plus days on market. Those are key indicators, as well as Also, what is the percentage of list? We're taking a look at all of that in terms of keeping an eye on what's happening in our market. Also, just keeping a pulse on what buyers are wanting and what their buying behavior is. All of that can give us an indication of what is just on the horizon. Okay, so ultimately, who is this market in 2026 going to favor? So it's ultimately going to favor those who take the data that's presented to them and use it to their advantage. So sellers who actually price their home based off of data instead of emotion, they are going to be the ones that are going to win out, especially with our spring market on the horizon. There's going to be more inventory that comes. Yes, there's going to be more buyer demand that comes because we typically see a lot of our relocation happen in the springtime between school years. So ultimately, yes, there's going to be more demand, but there's going to be more inventory, and pricing it correctly is going to be important because, again, buyers are more discerning. Now, when it comes to being a buyer, understanding the dynamics and the data of our market is going to be really crucial in order to win out in this market. We have seen it. We've heard the stories of buyers who want to come in and offer dramatically under list price. They're really looking to get a deal, and they walk in with a win-lose mentality. They feel like they want to win by just making the seller take a ridiculously lowball offer in order to feel like they're winning. That is not helpful either, because as you can see from our data, you really have sellers who are still getting 97% plus of list price. So understanding that there is room for negotiation, that you do have the opportunity to really have some great favorable terms, especially more so than previous years, but understanding that, but also knowing what our market is showing. Having a buyer that really understands the data and how to navigate this market is going to be important, and it's going to help them win out. So ultimately, at the end of the day, data is going to lead the way as we move through 2026, and understanding the data, knowing the data, and using it to your advantage, whether you're buying or selling, is ultimately who is going to win out in this market. So if you are looking to relocate to the Franklin, Tennessee area this year, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information is down below. Would love to talk with you and your family and help you guys make that smooth move. Again, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.